The modern gaming environment has connected both adults and children together in ways that were inconceivable just a few years ago. Games like Pokemon Go and in general games like Fortnite and the esports scene put adults and children together in relatively unmoderated situations that we need to do a better job keeping an eye on. I believe companies that knowingly have audiences of a wide variety of ages certainly at least need to be on the lookout for suspicious behavior. And just the other day, we saw a Smite community manager and Twitch partner get caught up in a sting going to meet a young child for some activities. And the story was originally broke by you, the followers who use the quartering@gmail.com tip line, but masterfully put together by Rod Bressler, or Slasher on Twitter, whom has done this sort of thing many times before. Twitch partner and Hi-Rez employee Thomas Chung has been arrested for allegedly arranging to meet up with a child as a part of an undercover sting that lasted 5 days called Operation Interception, ending on Super Bowl Sunday. And we can read a little bit more about it. These articles don't have a level of detail that you would hope in terms of this particular guy, but it's one of 21 people, and really mainstream normie media doesn't really have any reason to differentiate him from the other 20 sickos that they rounded up. What we know are the men ranged in age from 20 to 55 and a variety of fields from rideshare drivers to construction and grocery store clerks. Quality human beings. Rod also continued to share that according to the charge here on him, computer electronic prawn and child exploitation. Thomas Chung, child exploitation online. Hi-Rez, of course, releases a statement, but obviously this is not the problem of Smite. This is not the problem of Hi-Rez. This is not the problem of Twitch. It's relevant to us. These types of things end up in headlines and video titles because that's why it's relevant. There are sick people in every imaginable career job out there. And as I'm getting older and I'm thinking about starting a family, these types of things are more frightening than ever before. The Georgia Internet Crime Against Children Task Force recently concluded a month-long sting operation called Operation Interception, which had goals of arresting individuals who were trying to hook up with children. Investigators posed as children on various dating apps to collect evidence against predators before moving forward with arrests over Super Bowl weekend. Among the 21 perpetrators was 32-year-old Hi-Rez Studios employee Thomas Chung, who currently works as a community specialist for Smite. Those arrested had explicit conversations with whom they believed to be a child, and most of those arrested traveled to meet the child, said a press release from the task force. In Chung's case, he was also arrested for possessing computer electronic videos and child exploitation and computer child exploitation online, according to arrest records. Chung's arrest occurred on January 30th. While some gamers may be unfamiliar with Chung, others may recognize him from his Twitch streams. In addition to being an employee at Smite developer Hi-Rez Studios, Chung is also a Twitch partnered streamer, though it seems highly likely Twitch will drop him and possibly even ban his channel depending on what happens with this case. As far as I know, he has been banned by Twitch at this particular case. His profile remains active on Twitter, imagine my shock, but everywhere else is parting ways. Twitch has been criticized in the past for being unwilling to outright ban people, going back to Mr. Deadmoth, who was heard on stream, being a jerk. At the time of this writing, neither Twitch nor Hi-Rez Studios have commented on the situation. However, they did. On Monday, February 4th, we learned through local news that Thomas Chung was arrested on Operation by Georgia Bureau of Investigations. At this point, we know only what has been reported, the local news, and by local law enforcement. That cannot comment on specifics of Mr. Chung's case. Other than that, as to say that as of today, Mr. Chung is no longer employed by Hi-Rez Studios is apparent. It is difficult to imagine more disturbing allegations than those laid out in this news report. We commend the efforts of Georgia Bureau of Investigations and other law enforcement to protect our state's children and send a strong message that the behavior targeted in their operation will not be tolerated in Georgia. That is a very, very solid comment from Hi-Rez. I can't imagine anyone wanting to be wishy-washy on this particular thing. And, for all, the thing is, there's kind of that meme going around of like a Minecraft, full-grown adult Minecraft streamers. There's even been other accusations of people on YouTube before around this type of thing. But the frightening thing about it is we've got a man here who, for all, purposes, for all normal purposes, you've seen, obviously he enjoys his manicures, which is a little bit odd, but he didn't exactly talk about weird things. I don't know if Smite's actually blocked him now or what's going on with this, but obviously, it's not like he was posting a lot of creepy stuff on his Twitter feed. You don't really see this type of stuff. Retweeting Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a warning sign for me, but that's for different reasons. Being a little politically ultra far left. That's not uncommon in this space, and to be very fair, there are mentally disturbed people on all sides of the political spectrum and on all sides of the world, really. Just this in the highly digitized era that we have now, it's a lot easier to pass information around and find these people. Of course, VG 24/7 reports on it, about the statement, but no new real story. What it would be, how do I say this? It would be particularly interesting if Chung thought this kid was 17 or if the kid was 6 or 8 or 12 or something like that. That would be interesting. Neither is okay, especially for a man in their 30s. Neither is legal, but I'm interested in how these type of things actually work. They don't really share any details, but to be arrested, I'm guessing that he knew that this kid was underage. Not that long ago, he lamented, I saw on his Twitter feed, about wanting to get back into the dating scene. I was kind of scouring over this to see if there's anything like really weird, saying things like, ladies, would you date a guy with not natural hair color? Why or why not? I'm sure this will skew towards yes, since the majority of my followers are gamers or within industries accepting of hair color. Accepting? But, you can scroll through. It's just very mostly video game stuff. You can see, of course, not sure if it's more common for gay men to have color, but I've had people assume with me when I'm not. Just feeling it making harder for myself. It's already hard to begin with. Even if someone liked me for my hair color, I don't want to burden someone with having trouble of being around a professional setting with the non-natural colors. This is about hair. It seems more commonly accepted for women to have colored hair than men. Now adding gaming stigma. Gaming is not a stigma anymore, by the way. And colored hair, it really limits the potential dating pool. This is very telling on January 13th, given his arrest was just 2 weeks later. From a professional point of view, outside the gaming industry, it is still pretty uncommon or seen as unprofessional when you have natural hair, or when you don't have a natural hair color. Yeah, that's probably true. To elaborate more, this isn't a confidence issue, as it sounds like it is, to find someone for accepts you. I totally understand and agree finding someone like that. It's a combination of a few things. Asian men are already the least desired race amongst women when it comes to online dating. I'm surprised to hear that. Asian men are by far the highest earning people in the United States of America. So if somebody's looking for somebody who has a good job and can be a stable family man, I would think that Asian men would do very well. They're often the highest educated people in this country as well. But needless to say, the man was struggling with some feelings of loneliness and decided to turn more to online dating. Now, when you get arrested for something like this, it was obviously, I'm guessing that the agent was very clear that they were underage, and this person in their 30s decided they didn't care. And at 32, you know, maybe you should have just, you know, worked on your personality a little bit instead of targeting young children. This is a stain on the entire gaming community, a stain on Twitch, a stain on Smite, and this is a stain on gamers. And I'm glad that he was arrested before allegedly he was able to harm anybody. Hopefully that there's no hidden cases of that. And it serves as a reminder for just parents and aware gamers. If you remember, I was actually the tip of the spear at outing more than a dozen of these people in the Magic the Gathering judge community not that long ago. It was one of the things that led to my banning. There's a cross-section of society. There's a lot of people out there. Not to say that everyone to the left or to your right is somebody to be worried about, but it's easy to become complacent, and you should always kind of be watching out, because even if someone isn't showing outward signs, which most people aren't, if you have kids at home or younger brothers and sisters, you know, maybe be aware of what they're talking about on the microphone. Maybe be aware if they have dating apps, what they're doing when they're leaving after they meet up people on these things. It's a scary time to be a kid, and certainly I long for the days of where you know, the Oregon Trail days where Dysteria would get you and not some creepo online. I hope you were not maybe interested by this video, but I hope you appreciated the reporting. And if you did, remember to click that thumbs up button in the comment or below the video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.